Transforming this concrete slab basement into my new apartment. Watch to the end to see how I transformed this whole room for around $1,000. So I transformed my old basement a couple years ago, and my favorite part about that room was definitely the gaming room. This new area has more of an open space, but I still wanted to pimp out the setup. So it was time to start taking things out of the old room. As annoying as this was, it was honestly time to reorganize everything. Bruh, look at all these wires. This Zekey mural was so freaking heavy, I almost died. First things first, we had to prep the walls for the dry lock. So here I'm just cleaning the walls with a broom for any dust. So what the dry lock does is that it seals the concrete for any moisture and mold that might build up. So after getting most of the dust out, it was time to paint. So I just used the extra rough roller. This process went by pretty quick, not too bad. Me and my girlfriend were putting in that work.
Will I get some workman's comp for these scars?
So I finished it off with a paintbrush on the bottom. After painting, my mom went around and did a gray sponge paint. This came out really good. I like the way it hides most of the imperfections in the concrete. Now the best part, the funnest part of the mall. We had to clean. It was very dirty in here. The ceiling was dirty. The floors are dirty. We gotta make all that nice before we could do anything else. So after sweeping and shock vacuuming the floor, I'm just gonna mop it because I'm gonna do an epoxy paint on it. So I definitely want to make sure that this is all clean and ready. The floor was a lot dirtier than I expected. Leave it up to Aang, the last purifier, to get those dust particles. This thing covers like 600 square feet. The floor and the ceiling are looking good, looking clean. So now it's time to move on to the next step. So me and Kevin started doing the epoxy floor, and I'm just behind him putting down the chips. I'm not gonna lie, honestly, the brown, I thought it would look a lot better. When it was done, honestly, this shit looked like doo-doo brown. The overthinker that I am, I was like, you know what? I don't like it. I'm gonna go back over it. And this was a finished product. I like the gray a lot more than the doo-doo brown. Now it was time to move to the ceiling. So I was working with a metal frame ceiling. So I took the 2x4s and used a circular saw, cut it to exact length, and just wedged it in there with a hammer. And I ordered photography sheets on Amazon. They were 8x13. I only needed 4 of them to cover the whole room. What we did was we just held them up, pulled it tight, and just stapled it. Now it's time to pimp out the gaming setup. First things first, we're gonna move this heavy ass Zekey mural. On the wall behind my gaming setup, I wanted to do these cool 3D wall panels. So the surface was not flat on the concrete. So to make it flat, I just got a piece of plywood pre-cut from Home Depot. It was around 4 by 7 feet with a little less on the sides, just because I wanted to put these LED strips around it. I figured it might add a cool little effect to these panels. To mount the plywood on the concrete, I had to use this manual steel nail gun. So the lights are finally up and it's looking pretty good so far. I'm not gonna lie, I made a pretty stupid mistake. So I thought that applying this construction adhesive to the wood first would be a good idea, then stick the panels. For some reason, the glue was not as sticky as I thought. So we're gonna have to go to plan B. So plan B was using this double-sided heavy-duty adhesive. So as you can see, there's like a lot of ridges in the panels. So basically I cut little pieces, put it around the edges, some in the middle. You know, I didn't really do too much because this tape was really sticky. This definitely took more time, but it was worth it in the end because they were finally sticking, bro. I really like how the wall came out. Now it's time to put my setup together. So for the setup, I got an IKEA tabletop with the Alex drawers on the side. So what I wanted to do was put these furniture risers so that it's not directly on the Alex units. So now it was time for the fun part, the cable management. Yay. Honestly, this wasn't as bad. I got rid of a lot of wires, and these self-adhesive cable clips were a game changer, bro. Like, they literally fit right on the back of my desk perfectly, and I could fit multiple wires in here, like, damn. And I could just unclip it whenever I want. Man, these are definitely a game changer. You know how we do, barely a cable in sight, but the setup is coming along nice. So now it was time to add the finishing touches to the room. I just added some decorations. As you can see, I hung up my vinyls on this back wall, and these TikTok ad lights I had to put these up. Before I show you guys the finished room, let's do a price breakdown. Okay, so for the dry lock on the walls, 6 gallons totaled $270. The epoxy on the floor, 3 gallons totaled $160. With the 2x4s and the photography sheets on the ceiling, that totaled to $200. I also picked up these closets off Facebook Marketplace. Those were $175 because I needed that. So with the wood and the panels, that was $100, and the cost of materials, we're gonna add at least another $100. So we stayed like, you know, around that 1,000 range. We might have gone over a couple dollars, but we really did stay in a tight budget here, and that's what we like to hear.
Money, oh money, how I love thee.
Alright guys, the moment you've been waiting for, the finished product. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.